Hey guys, welcome back to a little DIY front door refresh. I've noticed that my front door is getting all kinds of scuff marks that just will not scrub off or come clean, so we're going to be giving it a fresh coat of paint today. I wanted to paint it with a higher sheen finish so that it would be easier to clean and also create a more cohesive look to my front door space. I had some power washing to do because of some extreme weather that's been happening lately, and I also want to share how you can update your front door and front porch decor on a super low budget. But before we get into any of that, I just wanted to give you an overview of what the space was looking like when I first started. Like I said, we've had some extreme weather, so my plants are not doing so well, as well as needing to power wash our front porch sitting area because this was so dirty. I'll get to that a little bit later, but I really wanted to start with this door, and I wanted to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So it's been about 3 years, I think, since I originally painted this in the color Tricorn Black by Sherwin-Williams in a flat finish. And you all told me, don't do a flat finish. It's going to scuff and be dirty and terrible to clean. I didn't listen, and you were right. So we're going to be fixing that DIY mistake today. And of course, I need to start by clearing everything away from this space and wiping it down really well. I want to make sure that the door itself, all of the paneling and the trim work all around it is completely clean, dirt and dust free, so that my paint has a clean surface to be able to adhere to, and that I don't have any dust particles or texture in the finish of the paint. So I did only film myself wiping down the door itself, but I just wanted to let you know that I did clean everything surrounding this area as well as I could, and I used my Jaws hardwood cleaner to do that. It's one of my favorites for both my front and back door, and I feel like it just does a really good job in these outdoor spaces. But no matter how hard I scrub, I wanted to show you all of the scuff marks, and it kind of looks like drip marks and dirt that get left behind. And for some reason, when I originally painted this, I left this trim work white. I don't know why, but we are going to tape it off and paint it for a more cohesive look. So here's the window all taped off, and I have got to say, I really don't like painter's tape. I think it's so unnecessary, and you'll see why a little bit later. But first I wanted to show you what paint I was using. I have the Valspar Season Flex in the color Tricorn Black by Sherwin-Williams, and I did get it in a satin finish. The only thing that's really changing here is that we're going from a flat finish to a satin finish. This is the original color that I used, and I decided to reuse it because I love it so much. I feel like it's very versatile. It works with a lot of different decor aesthetics, and I originally had painted it when we were doing more of a farmhouse or modern farmhouse look in our home decor, and then very quickly realized that I don't actually love that look, and went on a journey to find my style, which I feel like is now currently more organic, modern feeling, maybe even a bit of modern traditional, even though isn't that so crazy to say modern traditional? It feels like those two words would cancel each other out, but it's definitely a decor style. So anyway, I feel like that's where I currently lean more towards, but this could also work for something that's more modern contemporary, mid-century modern. You really can't go wrong because it is a neutral based deep black color, so it's basically just a true neutral. There aren't really any colorful undertones in this particular paint color, and it also doesn't pull cool or warm tone, so it just makes it very versatile and can blend in with any style, which makes it well worth the investment. So I went with the Tricorn Black all over again, but we are changing it to a satin finish. And I decided on a satin finish because it is easy to clean up. It's got enough of a sheen that it's easily wipeable and can be cleaned, doesn't fade too much, and doesn't scuff too much. But then it's not so like high gloss that it almost becomes reflective or warps the actual color or tone of the paint. So I think a satin finish is great for a high traffic area like this, but of course if you want a higher sheen, that's totally personal preference. I just definitely would not suggest, after my experience, going with a flat finish because you'll have to be repainting your door every single month to keep up with all of those scuff marks. And originally I was planning on using my paintbrush only in the detail work of the door and the smaller trim areas, and then going over with a 4-inch foam roller to smooth everything out and paint the larger flat surfaces. Those high density foam rollers are where it's at when it comes to trim and door painting. They give such a clean, crisp, smooth, professional finish, and it even says on the packaging that they're great for trim work, baseboards, doors, cabinets, kitchen cabinets, anything like that. So if you're going to be doing a paint project that involves any of those things, I would recommend that you use a high density foam roller if you're wanting a professional finish. I just had kind of gotten in the groove here and realized that my front door isn't extra large. I didn't have a lot of trim work or anything to be painting, and so it felt like more work than it might be worth to go get a paint roller and paint pan and go through all of that hassle. So I just went ahead and hand painted everything. I didn't end up with too many brush strokes anyway, and even if I did, it wouldn't have bothered me all that much. So it took me about 30 minutes to hand paint the entire door and all of the trim work on the outside. But again, if you are wanting a professional finish, use a foam roller. And I do have a ton of tutorials and makeover videos in my primary bedroom and entryway that show you how to use that. Since I don't make use of painter's tape most of the time, we rarely get to see tape pulls on this channel. So let's hope that this is as satisfying as we all want it to be. And this is exactly why you rarely see me use painter's tape when I am painting. There's no guarantee that bleed through won't still happen, and I feel like I rarely get a crisp line. I'm definitely going to have to take a razor to this to clean it up, but I need to wait until it completely dries before I can do that. Another mistake that I made the first time that I did this front porch makeover, when I originally painted everything, was that I painted our silver doorknob with just a regular black exterior paint, and it started chipping within the first month, but now with such high humidity it's literally just peeling right off. So I need to peel off all of this extra because it just looks horrible and it's constantly flaking off when we're opening the door. And then probably in the fall time, when the weather cools down just a little bit but not too much, I'll do something. I don't know if I'm going to spray paint or try rub and buff, or if they make an exterior metal paint. I'll have to do some more research than I did the first time, but this very clearly just did not work out. This was one of my very first DIY home improvement projects, and also one of my first DIY mistakes, like big mistakes. I don't know what I was thinking here when I painted over this with just regular paint. I can't remember if it was acrylic paint or if it was like the door paint, but either way, it very clearly was not going to stick to this surface. So I don't know why I thought that that would be a good idea. I do remember that we had wanted to take off the door handle on this storm door, and we tried to, and we could not figure out how to get it off the door, and I didn't feel confident enough to spray paint it, which was the original plan. I didn't feel confident enough to spray paint it with it still attached to the door. I just thought there would be a ton of overspray, so I just painted it with regular paint, and it started chipping within a month, and it's just been gross looking ever since then. Eventually I am going to update it. I think I might prefer a brass finish now with my current style, but I'll have to figure out and do more research before I even attempt that, and it definitely won't even be until the fall when it's not nearly as humid and the paint can adhere and cure in better conditions. Also, I went ahead and scraped all of the paint here, and I got it all off of the glass, so that was a win. When we first set this up out here, I did not power wash the cushions from last year, so they're still really dirty, and then after like 2 straight weeks of rain and thunderstorms, they're just pretty nasty. So we're gonna go ahead and power wash them now. You guys already know my favorite outdoor chore. Just so satisfying. I am sure that you guys are just absolutely sick of hearing me talk about power washing by now. I'm pretty sure in every single video that I've shared so far this summer, I have used this power washer or talked about this power washer, but I just can't help it. I love it so much. It was such a good investment. We had originally bought like the $100 green looking one off of Amazon 3 or 4 years ago now, and we got 2 uses out of it before it broke, but by that time it was outside of the return window, and so it was literally just $100 wasted. It also didn't have a lot of power behind it comparatively. At the time I thought that it did, but then we got this one and I realized it really didn't. It didn't clean things as well as they could be cleaned, especially with like what we use our power washer for. So we have this Craftsman one. It's $300, but it's $300 well spent. We've had it for 3 summers now. We use it all the time. We love it. It's powerful enough to wash all of these like outdoor cushions, our doormat and everything, but we also use it to power wash the siding on our house and literally anything, like our front step, the front walkway, our driveway. Eventually we're going to do that because you can see how dirty it is compared to the walkway, but we use it all of the time. We've never had a single issue on it, and I do believe it had either a 10-year or a lifetime warranty, so it's well worth it. If you're in the market for a power washer, I would highly recommend the one that I have, and I will leave it linked down below along with everything else that you might see in this video that is currently available online that I'm able to link. I always do my best to update the description box and have that readily available for you. But anyway, I had washed off all of those cushions and then put them back on the chairs to dry, and it was so hot on this day that as soaked as they were, it took them less than 2 hours to dry completely through. And then while I was over here, I just wanted to clean up all of my plants and planters, which have been on the struggle bus because we've had so much rain and so little sunshine lately. They've been hurting. It is so humid out here. I feel like the temperature isn't unbearable. I think it's like 83 today, but with humidity, it feels like it's 104 or something. It is wild, and that's probably a big reason why my plants are not thriving. We went through 2 straight weeks of rain, like heavy rain all day, every day, and thunderstorms, just really bad weather. And when it wasn't raining, it was overcast, there was no sun out. It was pretty rough, and it was clearly very rough on the plants. They either got overwatered or didn't get enough sun, or both. So a lot of them have just been like, oh, this is so bad. Look at how just there's like almost nothing left. So I've done my best to try to remove everything that is probably sucking the life out of the green portions and just keep what is green and still blooming. And I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to revive them and have them last at least through the rest of the summer until we get into our fall decorating, which will start in August. So I need them to last like at least another month. I don't have a green thumb though, so I don't know exactly what I'm doing. We do also have a hanging strawberry plant that I was so excited about when we first got it, but just like a couple weeks before the rain started, a bird nested in it and laid eggs. And as soon as we realized it, we stopped messing with the plant. We did not want to disturb the bird or her babies or cause her to abandon the nest. But the babies have now hatched and apparently learned to fly because there's nothing left in the nest. We noticed that a couple of days ago, but I haven't done anything with the plant because I'm not really sure what to do. I'm not sure if it's even worth reviving. Like after a bird nests in it, is there too much bacteria and we should not eat that fruit? Or can I remove the nest, cut some things off, and bring the plant back to life? I don't know. If you have any advice, please let me know. I should probably actually show you what it looks like so that you can really see. It has the most green leaves of any other plant, but it's honestly a droopy mess. So this is the plant, and prior to the bird nesting, we were getting a lot of strawberries all the time. It was great, but now you can see it's kind of just like a hot mess. You can see like all of the mossy bits and where the nest was. It was like perked up quite a bit, like kind of concealing it, but in the heat, you know, it's not doing so well. But anyway, it has still some strawberries on here that we have not messed with, and a lot of green leaves, but then also, you know, I haven't removed the nest or anything. So is this worth reviving? What should I do? Do I just like peel off all of these nasty berries and all of the brown bits and get the nest out and water it and let it perk back up? Or do I just need to scrap the whole thing? Is it gonna cause my family to get sick because of bird bacteria? I don't want to touch it without gloves, so I'm not gonna do anything with it right now, but if you have any advice at all, I would definitely appreciate it, because I don't know if I should just throw this away or if I should try to revive it. But anyway, now that I have manicured the plants at least as much as I feel like I can do today, I just want to get everything put back together. It's been a couple of hours, so the paint on the door is at least dry to the touch, even if it's not fully cured. So I can put the doormat back up here and the planter. Hopefully these yellow flowers start blooming again and they're as luscious as they were before. They were so beautiful and so summery, so I'm hoping to bring those vibes back to our front step and have that welcoming atmosphere to them. Aside from the paint, the only new thing that I got for this project was a front door wreath. I got a beautiful wreath on clearance at Target. It was such a find. Hold on, I'll go get it and show you. So this is our old front door wreath, and you can see it's pretty small but so green and lively. It's beautiful. This was a Target clearance find like 3 or 4 years ago. I found it for $6, so I've definitely gotten my money's worth use out of it. I'm not going to like throw it away or donate it just yet. I think I might try to like add some flowers to it and use it on the back door. That'll be, you know, a different DIY that I attempt. But this is the one that I'm going to use on the front door now. Isn't it so pretty? It's literally, this old one can fit inside it. It's so big, but it's just got all of this greenery on it and wildflowers. It's just really pretty. And it was originally $40 and I found it on clearance for $12. So I feel like that's an equally good clearance find, and I know we'll get many years and many seasons of use out of it. But I figured I'm just gonna refresh the door with this beautiful wreath to carry us through the rest of the summer season. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it fits on there and still allows the storm door to shut. So aside from painting the door and getting a new wreath, I didn't do anything new in this space because I wanted to show you that you can make a high impact without having a high budget. So I just have my layering mat and my front door mat. I love them both. They coordinate really well together and they have held up beautifully since I first put them here. I also have a taller planter that I found at HomeGoods, and I keep a couple of lanterns next to it. Also, you'll see that in the after shots. And then I just like to shine up the storm door, keep the glass clean and smudge free, and add a really simple wreath to the front door because we do have that storm door. I can't do anything too over the top here because it'll get smushed in the glass. But these couple of small changes made such a high impact in this space. I love the way that it turned out. It's exactly what I was wanting. It solved my initial DIY mistakes and problems, and it transformed this space for less than $30. I really wanted to share this with you just in case you're working on a small budget or you have a small front step just like I do. I just wanted to let you know that no matter your budget, no matter your space, you can transform your home into exactly what you're wanting and be proud of the home that you have. So I hope that this inspired you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you all in the next one.